Senior leaders of the lower house assured full support for the passage of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. At the same time, they assured that the legislation will be within the bounds of the Philippines Constitution. The details from Freddie Abando.
The Mindanao bloc of lawmakers expressed full support for the passage of a draft bill to be crafted by the Transition Commission, which will create the new Bangsamoro entity. It was a vote of confidence for the Aquino government's commitment to win the peace in Mindanao. Over the weekend, the government and MILF panels signed the fourth and final annex in the negotiations. The normalization process, which will give focus to the demobilization of all MILF forces. Other agreements signed are the on the territorial waters, power, and wealth sharing. Zamboanga City Congressman Celso Lobrigat expressed concern that the agreement signed in Kuala Lumpur failed to include any of the provisions which refer to the Constitution as the basis for the talks and the agreement reached by both panels.
You are justifying several provisions and citing the Philippine Constitution, but it is a disrespect, not to say the least, maybe unconstitutional, not even to mention the Constitution in the annexes and in the framework agreement.
Presidential advisor on the peace process, Secretary Teresita Dela stressed the conduct and outcome of the talks was guided by the spirit of the Constitution. Government Chief Negotiator Miriam Coronel Ferrer said the agreement will stand legal scrutiny if challenged before the Supreme Court.
Nothing there can actually be stated as having diminished the sanctity of our the fundamental law of the land. It is actually the default mode. Even when the panel was created, it was in the exercise of the President's power that is also laid down in the Constitution. So lahat po ng actions natin dito ay nakapaloob dito sa framework ng ating saligang batas.
As far as following the instructions of the President, every consideration was made, every due diligence was undertaken to ensure that we stay within the parameters of the Constitution.
Another major concern raised is whether an amendment of the Constitution is required to ensure a smooth transition of the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao to the new Bangsamoro entity. Will the transition also cover the expansion of territory? To date, ARM has 5 provinces under its control. Constitutional reform is an option, but majorities see no need to tinker with the Constitution.
Even at this stage, when it is not yet submitted to the House, the bills, at this stage, it can be questioned by anybody that the agreement, the annexes are unconstitutional, and that is the right. But so far, I have not seen any, because I'm sure that the GRP have certainly had their own advisors. They themselves would know that the instruction really of the President is that they should be within the bounds of the 1987 Constitution.
That as far as you can see, putting this agreement into law in accordance with the congressional procedures, with the legislative procedures of our country, will not need any constitutional change. So unless Congress says that they want to undertake some initiative for constitutional change, it cannot be said that it is the agreement that pushed it along those lines.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.